stream. There's Twitch. I'm waiting for YouTube. Still waiting on YouTube. Let me check if YouTube sees me or not. Okay, well, my dashboard says I'm live, so I should be live. Well, let's just hope this works, and if it doesn't work, I can always pull it from Twitch and upload it later. That's what I've had to do that before. So, greetings. This is Jesse from Nintendo Dads with a early access Let's Play. Antonio says we can see you. Thank you. Of Aviary Attorney Definitive Edition. Thanks to publisher Vertical Reach for a pre-release copy of the game. I had to wait until today to do any live stream. Of course, I could have played it earlier and just recorded it, not live streamed it. But I thought, it's funner to actually have an audience sometimes to play. So the embargo landed this morning, so I can live stream it. The game will be released tomorrow, so January 30th. See, zero price. Yeah, the price is $20. Apparently, this was originally on Steam, released in December of 2015. It has DLC, so I'm presuming this has a DLC built in, or there's probably other alterations. But if there are, I don't know what they are. So the Steam description, real quick, is the hottest bird lawyering game to come out of 1840s France. Join J.J. Falcon, nice name, and his witty apprentice Sparrowson as the two take on clients, interview witnesses, collect evidence, and deliver justice to the guilty. Antonio says he will have a review soon of this game. Okay, looking forward to seeing it. So again, as usual, I have not yet launched the game. I have no idea what to expect, other than this thing looks like 19th century anthropomorphic Phoenix Wright. Let's see what we get. I'm like, I hope this thing takes a controller, but it did. Loading. I was saying it's a slow loading, but it jumped up fast. And it slowed down again as soon as I said something. I hope, at least if this is a long load up front, that it keeps everything in live RAM, so there's very little loading during the game. I've seen worse. Okay, looks like it's almost done. Sketchy Logic presents a game based on the illustrations of J.J. Granville and the music of Camille Saint-Saëns. Ported by Virtual Reach. If the music is too loud, let me know. I can lower it. New game, load a previous day extras and options. Dyslexic text. Oh, okay, just changes the font a bit. Yeah, it gives me a slider, sure, but which way is which? It doesn't say this one's faster or that way's faster. I'll just leave it at default and see what happens. What do they have for extras? Earned medals for completing tasks in game. No medals earned. Play a game of Jacques Noir to unlock. So, card game maybe? Finish any ending to unlock. Finish the Facebook to unlock. Okay, so not much to do there. There's... Can I actually start anywhere? I don't know. I'll just say new game because I have no save. January 1st, 1848. The Chateau Crinere of Baron... Wow, what. Lots of words. Lots of foreign words to scroll by quick. Is that Monsieur Gwen? Oh, mon Dieu. Dame Cataline. A cat with claws. Sparrow Sun. It's midday already. Where on earth is that featherhead? Well, look who finally decided to get up. Haven't you heard what they say about the early bird falcon? I'm going to lower the volume a little bit because it's pretty loud in my head. So if you want to, if anyone watching live, if you want the music brought up again, let me know. Too early for worms. Pass the Cabernet Sauvignon. Ah, it's this type of game. 3 sentences in is already ready to drink. There'll be time for that later. We've got some business to handle first. Business? A letter arrived while you were sleeping. I haven't opened it yet. It's probably just more junk mail. Go ahead, Sparrowson. You may have the honors. All right. Dear Monsieur Falcon, I'm writing to you today because my daughter, Dame Cataline, has been arrested for a crime she did not commit. She is being held at La Conguergue prison on the charge of murder, no less. Her trial is in 3 days' time. I would be greatly in your debt if you would offer her your legal aid. Yours sincerely, Seigneur Pertois de Mayo of the de Mayo estate. I apologize to any Canadians or French Canadians or French people, but I haven't taken French in many years, probably 30 years almost. So my knowledge of the French language is not, and French words are not what they used to be. But Pertois is cat. Nice pun. Well, this is quite something. I know. Your first serious client in months. Not just that. The meow is... The meow? Like meow as in cat too? Really? I didn't catch that the first time because I probably pronounced it wrong. The Meow estate is well known for its exuberant wealth. Even if we could not do much for Dame Cataline, his lordship would still reward us handsomely for our efforts. Wow, so I suppose you instead of defending Dame Cataline in court? Of course. You would be foolish to let such an opportunity slip through our feathers. Grab your coat, Sparrowson. We're going to find our kitty client at La Conciergerie. I have no idea how that's supposed to be pronounced. Excellent. My derriere was getting tired from all the sitting around. Yet you're standing in the art. Oh, but I better file away Seigneur de Meow's letter first. One moment, Falcon. Added to evidence folder. X. You may access the evidence folder at any time by pressing the X button while the suitcase symbol is highlighted. Ah, nearly forgot my wallet. I wouldn't want to lose that. Again, I recall you losing it at the New Year's party. And at Christmas. Yes, alright, no need to make a list. Falcon picked up his wallet. You may see how much money he's carrying at any time by pressing the X button while the wallet symbol is highlighted. You can change symbol that's highlighted by pressing the L and R button to move left to right. Oh, that's cumbersome. 20 francs. Let's make a move. Welcome to map screen. On January 3rd. From here you can travel to any listed area by pressing the A button while the location is selected. Use the left stick to select different areas from the list. Areas marked with a clock symbol will take a whole day to visit. Areas with no symbol can be visited freely. A sign on the door reads the Aviary attorney's offices. No cases too big or too small, no junk mail. That's where I am now, I presume. So I need to go to here and burn a day. Falcon and Sparrowson step into the stone-cold foyer of the Conciergerie prison. Sullen-faced guards and visitors linger beneath the medieval archways. They say this is the finest prison in the whole of France. The outer walls are impenetrable, the cells are spotless, the guards are well-mannered. What do you want? Good day, monsieur. I'm here to see Dame Cataline de Miao. I am due to represent her in court. Oh, you're her lawyer, huh? Fine, fine. Follow me. Well, what are you waiting for? Keep up. Sigh. My papa hasn't forgotten about me, has he? Dame Cataline de Miao, I presume? You've arrived at the fantastic lawyer, Monsieur Falcon, and his petit assistant, Sparrowson. Milady is knowledgeable. Don't talk like that, mistress. Sorry. My papa told me that he would only hire the best lawyers in town. I'm flattered. But they weren't available at such a short notice, so he hired the first people in the address directory. How does she know that if she was in jail? Oh. You see, Falcon, I told you listening under Aviary attorney would pay off. Let's get down to business. Dame Cataline, could you fill us on some details? Your father's letter was a little brief. I can do my best. What is it you wanted to know? What happened on the night of the murder? Well, let me think. It was Friday evening. Me and Papa had arrived at Chateau Crinière, the home of the great Baron Morgulet. Wow. These names are going to kill me. People have a hard time with Japanese names, but no, it's the French names that'll get you. My papa spent all evening talking with Monsieur Grenouille and the Baron about business stuff. Business stuff? Well, the three of them own a railway company together, so all throughout dinner they're talking about the company shares and investments, but I didn't understand most of it. But after dinner, this man with a camera took a photograph. That was a lot more fun. Sorry, man took a what? Man with a what took your what? Camera. It's a very new gadget. A tiny bug sits in a box with a tiny paintbrush and paints your picture very fast. That's how it works, huh? In 10 minutes, poof, you have a perfect picture. Wow, technology is amazing. I don't think the lady's explanation is right. Shaw, let me believe. Still, the camera sounds like a very special device. I'll make note of it. Evidence folder. Please continue. So after we had the photograph, I went to the gardens to get some air, and that's when I found the body of Monsieur Grenouille. He was all ripped open. The housemaid saw me standing over the froggy monsieur and called for help. Then the police arrived. Before I could say anything, I ended up here. It was such a blur. It must have been terrifying. It wasn't so bad, but Papa taught me how to be a brave cat. Was there something else you wanted to ask? Who was there? Who attended the banquet? Well, that was me and Papa. My dearest Maman couldn't make it. And there was Baron R, who hosted the dinner, and his housemaid Colleen, I think she was called. Of course, there was Monsieur Grenouille. Well, until, he died. And there was another Monsieur R, Robiti de Robino, the man with the camera, but he was only there for a little while. I think that was all. Was there anything else you wanted? Did you see anything suspicious? Like maybe a guy lurking in the shadows or a bloody murder weapon? Monsieur Falcon, I do believe you're looking for an easy answer. You got me. I did not see anything, I'm afraid. The evening was very normal. The food was delicious, the conversation was boring. It was all very ordinary until the incident. I see. Wait, Falcon, you missed something of huge importance. I did? You said the food was delicious, but you didn't say what the food was. Details, man! Details! You and your damn stomach. Let me see. We had poached red herring to start, garnished with garlic butter. Go on. Marbled steak, served perfectly bloody rare. Glorious. Falcon, write this down. What? This can't possibly be relevant to the case. Write it all down, please, for me. Fine, fine. Sparrow said to remind me not to let you talk to clients on an empty stomach. Come to think of it, I did find it a little strange that we weren't given any cutlery. No cutlery? Even for the steak? Nope. You would think that the great Baron of Chateau Grenay would have gorgeous silverware, but there was none to be seen. That is a little peculiar. Was there anything else you wanted to know? No, I think that'll be all. So what's the plan now, Falcon? The way I see it, we have two tasks. We should head to Chateau Grenay, try to see the scene of the murder for ourselves, and we should try to track down the supposed photographer, Monsieur Robidi de Robino. 2 days for 2 tasks. Seems doable. We should go back and get some rest first. We have a lot of work ahead of us. Wait, Monsieur Falcon, before you go. You do believe my story, don't you? I believe you. It is our duty as lawyers and as gentlemen to have faith in your testimony. You can trust us. Thank you. Thank you both. Dame Cataline, Monsieur Grenouille, Baron Roguel, and these names are all getting a bit confusing, aren't they? Not particularly? Well, it is for me. I'm going to start compiling a Facebook so I can keep track of who everyone is. A what? A Facebook. It's a collection of people's names, pictures, and descriptions in one easy-to-carry catalog. I think I understand. The name could use a little work, though. Nice dig! Sparrowson had started compiling a Facebook. You can access a list of people you have met at any time by pressing X while the book symbol is highlighted. The Aviary attorney herself, Falcon's suave and courageous lackey, what a handsome fellow. Cute, since he's the one who compiled the book, he comments on himself. Pertoir Damiao, the wealthy father of Dame Catherine. Pertoir hired us to defend Catherine in court. Renway, the froggy businessman who was found murdered. Quark, an ill-mannered jailkeeper. Seems to feel disgust for criminals and for animals in general. And multiple unknown pictures. Let's make a move. A new day. The game saves automatically at the start of each new day, but you can also make a quick save at any time by selecting Save and Quit from the pause menu. You can access the pause menu with the plus. For centuries, the infamous Conciergerie prison has detained the accused and the condemned alike. Here lies the home of Robito de Rubinio, up-and-coming photographer. Let's go. Yes. Let's check the manor first. Falcon and Sparrowson enter the courtyard outside Chateau Cournier. People with dirty clothes and gaunt faces linger around the building's shadows. Satane? Satan? Yeah, I default to the front to Japanese first. Probably not the right way to go with this game. Excusez-moi, messieurs. I don't mean to be a pain, but my little girl and I are sick and starving. Cough, cough. I don't suppose you happen to have some spare change? You have 20 francs in your wallet. What will you do? Let's give one. Stay safe. Many thanks. That was pretty generous of you. Times are tough. Making sure a mother and child have something to eat is the least I can do. But what am I doing standing here moralizing? Come on, Sparrowson, we've got some business to attend to. Falcon and Sparrowson step into the pristine wood-paneled foyer of Chateau Culinary. Whoa, look at this place. Baron Rogel must be loaded. More than loaded? When it comes to lucrative investments, the Baron is a legend. Factories, chocolate shops, hotels, railroads. The Baron owns a little bit of everything in this side of Sienne. Is he here now? Yes. He's the smug-looking chap with the impressive mane. But we must approach a man of his stature with tact and finesse. Hey, Baron, we'd like a word. Tact and finesse. How's that? You have the finesse of an inebriated work dog. You can thank me later. I think I got his attention. Did I hear my name? Great Baron Rogrel, property owner extraordinaire, at your service. And who might you fellows be? More investigators? We're attorneys. Lawyers, eh? You know, we weren't the first to have passed through here today. Oh? Yeah. This jumpy, twitchy fellow came by this morning, asked a bunch of questions, and hopped away before he heard the answers. Most curious. Do you know who he was? Perhaps. I have a hunch. We'll be seeing him at the trial. A friend of yours? Something like that. So what may I do for you, messieurs? We're doing some research on Monsieur Grenouille, the frog who was killed here on Friday evening. Of course, such a tragedy. He was a good friend and a loyal business partner. I suppose you messieurs will be wanting to see the crime scene for yourself? Actually, yes, that would be fantastic. You'll be my guest. You'll find the garden where the murder occurred through the back doors. You may also be interested in the lounge on the second floor, third door to the right. That would be where we gathered for a group photograph prior to the unfortunate incident. There's a long dramatic pause, and then there's that. Whatever that was. Oh, can we see the finished photograph? I'm afraid not. It's my understanding that the photograph must be developed before it can be viewed. It's a slow process. My own copy of the photograph is to be delivered in 3 days' time. That's no good to us. The trial might be over by then. Nonetheless, we appreciate your hospitality. Thank you, Baron. No trouble at all. I'll be here to sit you out when you're done with your investigations. So where should we go first? Let's look at the garden. Dame Cataline said that she found Monsieur Grenouille on the stairs by the Falcon, so this must be the very spot where the murder took place. The Falcon, do a crime scene investigation thing. Do... Okay, not a question. It's do the thing. The command. The crime scene investigation thing. Yeah, you know, the thing where you get out eagle-eyed and analyze every object in excruciating detail. You mean search for evidence? Yeah, do that. Not a bad suggestion. It wouldn't be the first time the Parisian police have missed something right under their noses. In investigation mode, you are free to examine the scenery of a room. You can move the pointer using left stick. Say, while the pointer is over an item of interest, the Falcon will examine it in closer detail. When you haven't had enough, or when you can find nothing else to examine, hold the B button down for a few seconds to leave the investigation mode. This fountain is finely crafted. Solid carved marble that can't have been cheap. Nothing but water in the bottom of the lower basin. It's the same sheet we can't see in the upper basin from here. That would be a perfect place to stash our murder weapon. Well, you are birds. Can't you fly? That's actually not a terrible line of reasoning. We ought to wade in to take a closer look just to be sure. I suppose we should. Oh, I apologize. I wasn't being direct enough. What I mean to say is, Sparrowson, go wade in the fountain and take a closer look. Me? No way. If you want to go wade, do it yourself. I'm a respectable lawyer. You can't expect me to roll up my trousers and paddle around the fountain like a duck in a lake. Yeah, well, you don't pay me enough to justify getting my sweet threads wet. Look, there's only one reasonable way to settle this. We'll flip for it. I'll flip this one franc coin. You call the outcome, get it wrong, and you go for a swim. So what it'll be, heads or tails. Napoleon face or plant squiggles. Plant squiggles is called a wreath, Sparrow, so sure, I'll bet on the plant squiggles. Here I go. It says, should have gone with Old Emperor Falcon. Gah, fine, hold my shoes. Falcon really should learn how to spot a red coin flip. I almost feel bad for cheating. Almost. We're going to get that into evidence. Have a good swim. Nice little head shake animation. I did find a mystery item in the upper basin. There's no murder weapon though. What is it? It's brown and sticky and it smells weird. Don't tell me that you picked up a very wet cigar butt. Possibly belonging to Baron Will. Right. But that shouldn't be too surprising. It is his house after all. I'll stash it in the evidence folder just in case. Is there anything else we need to do here? A finely crafted horse statue. The mane looks almost lifelike. Would you say it behooves you to stroke it? No, I would not. Another beautifully made horse statue. You know, my uncle once had a horse that refused to eat hay. Oh, that's unfortunate. Yep. Eventually we realized that it was just filling up on horse sters. Oh. Terrible. Horse statue. This one has a goofy face. That reminds me of a joke. The horse walks into a bar, the barkeep says, "Why the long face?" Yeah, we've heard it before. What? No, the barkeep says, "You gotta stop coming here. You're drinking us under the stable." I think it's time to rein in the horse jokes. Baron certainly likes his horse statues. I don't mind the horse statues, but the little cherub people creep me out. Baby should be waddling, not attempting saddleless horseback riding. I think this is the last one. Dried blood on the staircase. This must be where Monsieur Grenouille died. Do you see any bloody footprints? Oh, maybe the name scrawled in blood written in the frog's last breath? Wishful thinking. All I'm seeing here is a big sticky puddle. There's nothing to indicate that the body was moved or that the frog left a last-minute clue. All I can make out of the bloody mess that Monsieur Grenouille was attacked and killed on the staircase. Is there anything else? I'm not seeing anything else that lights up. I think we're done here. Good call, but are you sure you don't want to take another dip? We still have time. Don't push your luck. Okay, let's check the lounge. That's a tall neck. Right off screen. Second floor, third door on the right. This must be the room where the photograph was taken. Hey Falcon, do you see that? See what? The housemaid totally just did something shifty. Shifty? I think she just pocketed something from that drawer. You should totally call her out on it. Excuse me, mademoiselle. Yes? Are you two policemen? No, we're private attorneys. Name's J.J. Falcon, and I'm Sparrowson. Oh, however me. My name is Colleen Tuha. So, what can I help you, Messieurs, with today? We're investigating the murder that took place last week. Do you mind if we ask you a couple questions? That's fine. Just let me grab a chair. I was going to say that's better because I can see the face now, but no, she says that better too. What do you want to ask? Is this where the photograph was taken? Oh yes, you're in the right place. I saw the photography session for myself. Let's see, the cameraman was standing just about where you're standing actually, Monsieur Falcon. And where was the camera pointed? Right at the clock above the mantelpiece. The Baron insisted on using that very location. Now that I'm looking at it, something isn't right about the clock. I know the painting on it totally clashes with the decor. I was thinking more along the obvious lines. The clock has no hands. Well, that clock has never had hands in years I've worked here. I think Baron Rogel kept it around as a conversation piece. Well, we're conversing about it, so I guess it's working. It's a peculiar detail, though. I'll make a note. Is there something else you wanted to ask? Is there something we should know? You were a little nervous when we came in. You thought we were police officers. Is there something we ought to know? Anything you need to confess? No, I suppose I'm just a little nervous after all the drama from last week. Let's pressure her. Are you sure there isn't anything you're hiding? It's okay to tell us. We're defense attorneys. That means we help people get away with criminal acts. No, that's not what it means! Right, and... Wait, what? No, that's not an accurate job description. Yeah, that's funny. Isn't... Oh, what do we do then? I'll tell you later. Honestly, I have nothing to hide. Was there something else you wanted to ask? That's all. Thank you. You're a huge help. No problem. Actually, there is something. I know you two saw me stealing as you came in. I appreciate you didn't give me the third degree about it. You see, I'm trying to save up to follow my dreams and, well, never mind unraveling. No problem. To be honest, we have much larger crime to worry about. Although I should probably ask, I don't suppose you've been stealing anything else. Silverware, perhaps? Blink, blink. Ah, you know about that? Yeah, I suppose that was me. It started with a couple of teaspoons. I didn't think the Baron will miss those, but then, yeah, I suppose the habit got a little away from me. It's one mystery solved, at least. Missing silverware. Well, I'd appreciate it if you didn't tell the Baron. He's been really kind, and I would hate to break his trust. Well, a little late for that. Where to next, Big Bird? Let's go back in the main hall. Did you Messieurs have a good look around? I trust everything was in order. You had a good look, thank you, Baron, but we actually have some questions for you. Please ask away, I have nothing to hide. You bet your housemaid. She's a courteous young lady, isn't she? She's a thief. I know. You know? Of course I know. The silverware goes missing in a house occupied by two people. It doesn't take a world-class detective to solve the mystery. And why haven't you informed the police? This may surprise you, but I'm actually not a ruthless money-grabbing Burgess. The house might steal 100 francs of silver from me and mere drop in the bucket for a man of my stature. What of it? I feel no need to ruin the poor girl's life over something so small and petty. I see. I apologize, Baron. Didn't mean to pry. Quite alright. Did you two want to ask something else? What happened on the night of the murder? Am I in trouble? Not at all. We're just gathering the full picture. Okay, let me think. The guests arrived at 5. We all sat down for dinner in this very hall at 6. That part went magnificently. The photographer arrived at 7, but it wasn't until 7:30 that we had a picture taken. The housemaid discovered this crime scene soon after that. I see. There's something else I can help you Messieurs with? Kind of wish that an option was pre-selected. Even if it was one option, I still have to push up or down to select it. A little weird UI decision. I think that'll be all, Baron. Thanks so much for your time. It was a pleasure. Have a delightful day. Did you get all the information you needed? I hope so. Don't worry. If everything goes wrong in the trial, we could always just wing it. Oh, see, I like puns, but even these are kind of bad. Terrible, just terrible. Let's head back to the office and get some rest. A new day. See, about 30 minutes in, so not sure how long it takes to get through a trial, so we'll see how much longer I've got left in me. So I can always go back to any previous location and it not cost any time, but going to a new location costs a day. So excuse me. So this is the studio of the famous photographer. So we knock. There's a note at the door. I started saying that before I pushed the button, and that's what they said. Ahem. The magnificent and marvelous artist, Monsieur Roberto de Robino, is currently out on an artistic expedition. He shall return when his muse see fit. When his muse sees fit? What does that even mean? I think it means that he's a pretentious bird brain, but in this case, the artist seems to be out. What shall we do now? Let's knock anyway. Nope, doesn't look like he's in. Tempting, but I don't know. Let's do it. What? Are you serious? Maybe? I would have thought that a man of justice like yourself would be against such reckless displays of unlawful barbarism. Alright, I'm sorry, I don't know what came over. It's a brilliant suggestion. Stand back, I'm barging the door down. I wonder if he would have wanted to barge the door down anyway if I just said let's go. Oh, wait, just like that? Shouldn't we discuss this first? What in bird Jesus' name was that? You said you wanted to break in. I thought we could find an open window. I didn't think you would just turn into the bird-sized cannonball. Well, now that we ought to make the most of it, this place is quite something. It's very swanky. I was going to say ostentatious. That's just swanky talk for swanky. Okay. That's funny. I got to take a picture of that. We don't have time for this. The sound of a door being smashed in could be drawing unwanted attention. We should find anything that may help our case and get out. This is a photograph of a castle somewhere in the courtside. You know, I once had an uncle who fell off a castle rampart while on guard duty. I'm sorry to hear that. Did he die? No, he got demoted. Wow. A butterfly, or maybe a moth. It's difficult to tell in black and white. Lighthouse? No, wait. It's a man in a top hat. Actually, if I squint and turn my head sideways, it's a black smudge. This is a tiny photograph of what appears to be a jail cell. That reminds me, how illegal is this? You know, breaking and entering, rifling through a person's belongings? A little illegal. You're saying that small acts of evil is justifiable if it results in a greater good? Don't put words in my mouth. This is a picture of a fence. It's a fancy photograph. It leaves the viewers defenseless. Out of all the pictures here, I would pick it as my favorite. Okay, I'm done. No more fence puns. Oh, I'm amused by that one. I like that one. Let's look at the chandelier. You should get one of those. I don't have the money for that sort of luxury. That's it. I was hoping for something more humorous. Picture of a sailing ship on a windy day. Beautiful picture picture of the Paris skyline. Given the angle, this must have been taken from Notre Dame's cathedral itself. This appears to be a photograph of a ladder, symbolic of climbing towards success, perhaps. It looks more like a step ladder to me. Oh no, we're not getting into that old argument. If you don't know, that's a long-running gag in the Ace Attorney series. Is a stepladder a ladder or not? So nice throwback. I see a finely dressed dandy fellow up upon a horse. I see paints, inks, dyes. Not sure what the clear liquid is in this bottle. I could taste test it. No, you don't want to. We don't have time for a hospital visit right now, so let's not. I see gorgeous tigress in profile. Ooh, something's big here. Hey Falcon, look. What? It's just an easel. No, look what's on the easel. Oh wow, must be a copy of the photograph from the evening of the murder. There's no question about it. I see a housemaid, Dame Cataline, and I think that's Signor Pertoine, Cataline's father. So what shall I do? We just take this? That's not. Every half-competent lawyer knows that stolen property can't be used as evidence. Still, we've learned some valuable information by seeing this photograph in person. I suppose so. Is there anything else we need to do here? I don't think there's anything else. Alright, I think that wraps it up. I think we're done snooping. Let's get out of here before we draw further attention to ourselves. Sounds good to me. Uh-oh. Oh mon dieu, what happened to my door? Well, Monsieur Rabanino, it's like this. You see, we're attorneys who have been hired for the purpose of... Raven did it. We saw the whole thing. What are you doing? I've got this. I'm not going to jail because your conscience is acting up. Nobody's going to jail. Just take it easy. Damn ravens are always after our shiny objects. Am I right? Yeah, that's right. Let's make a move. Trial day is approaching fast. Right, let's go. Ravens! Palais de Justice. That was one of my favorite one-liners. Which one? The Ravens? Or... Demoted. Yeah, I get it. Falcon and Sparrowson stand inside the marble portico of Palais de Justice, awaiting the opening of the Tribunal de Grande Instance. ... Are you nervous? I'll respond with ... That bad, huh? Monsieur Falcon, Petit Sparrowson. Is there anything you need me to do? No, we've got a handle on things. Falcon was just telling me how confident he was feeling about the case. That's wonderful. I just know you two will pull through. Let's move it along, fellas. I'll be watching from inside. Do your best for me. We will. Are we ready? Yeah, we're ready. Alright, everyone settle down. Is everyone here? J.J. Falcon present. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Rupert Abington present. The ready is prosecution, Your Honor. Sure it is. Oh, darn, that's not it. Where are my notes? I knew it. Knew what? Rupert and I went to Paris Law School together. He was in all of my classes. Oh, was he smart? No. He always scored the second worst marks in the class. You probably had the lowest score. I can only assume that he bumbled through the final exams on the luck of his two rabbit's feet. Unless he improved considerably, he might have already have this trial in the bag. That's good to know. But if Rupert scored the second to lowest marks in the class, then who scored the lowest? I choose to exercise my right to not self-incriminate. Yeah, I saw that one coming. Ah, here it is. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Are the jury all present? All present and accounted for, Your Honor? A jury of 8. Hey, Falcon, I thought there were only 6 members of the jury for cases like this. Why do I count 8? Well, those two birds with the funny hats are assessors, the associate judges. Everything seems to be in order, so let's begin. The court is now in session for the trial of Dame Cataline de Miao. Prosecution, please call your first witness to the stand. Oh gosh, we're there already? Okay, I choose to call the officer in charge of the murder investigation, Inspector Volerty, to the witness stand. Inspector Volerty, please approach the stand and state the oath. He has one eye. Which is an interesting detail, because they could have easily just X-swapped the image when he rotates his head. But no, they gave him a whole different image for the opposite facing axis. So I wonder if that has any importance later. As you will, Your Honor, I swear to speak without hatred and without fear, to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Monsieur, Inspector, please state your name and occupation for the record. My name is Inspector Just Volerty. I am a servant to the law, a scourge of the gutter rats that plague this city. I have enforced the law for over 20 years, and I shall continue until I bring the infamous Viridian killer to justice. That's awfully specific. My path begins 18 years ago, and he's rambling already. Let's stick to the questions. Of course, Your Honor. Oh, great. I was hoping we could have one of those bumbling, cuddly officers, but instead we're stuck with lawful goody two-shoes. I bet this guy would turn in his own mother if he saw her littering. So, Inspector, is it true that you are the lead investigator on the case? That is correct. I was among the first to arrive at the scene of the crime. Then perhaps you can walk us through what you witnessed upon your arrival. Absolutely. Just after 7:30, we were alerted and brought to the scene by housemaid Baron Rogel. At the scene of the crime we found Dame Cataline de Miao. She was standing over the corpse of Monsieur Grenouille with his blood on her paws. Well, that sounds like an open and shut case, in my humble opinion. No more questions, Your Honor. Bloodied paws? No one told me that detail. Keep it together, Falcon. You're about to be given the opportunity to cross-examine the witness. That's your opportunity to find flaws in the inspector's testimony. Of course, I know this. You may begin your cross-examination. So I imagine this is going to be very Ace Attorney-like. Cross-examine the witness to find flaws in his testimony. Use the left stick to select a key phrase that you find suspicious. Press A button to have Falcon press the witness for information. Ask the right questions to bring truth to light. Avoid pressing for pointless details. The judge and jury don't like having their time wasted. Select a statement to question. Well, let's just start with the top one. You say you were alerted by the scene by the housemaid. That's correct? What was her name? We found her running from Chateau Courtney with tears in her eyes. Colleen, that was the thieving giraffe lady, wasn't it? We questioned her extensively but didn't find anything imperative. As far as the police are concerned, Duhat was not a suspect. You have another question about the housemaid? No. See the crime. Correct. He's standing right beside... The suspect was standing right behind the victim's body. Did you find anything out of the ordinary? Out of the ordinary? Missing garden tools, broken fences, that sort of thing? Definitely not. We combed the garden, it came up empty. Nothing but marble horse statues and properly trimmed grass. That seemed pretty definitive. You have another question? I'll say yes. When you say standing right besides, would you say the two were less than a meter away? I would say about 3 feet. Feet? I'm not familiar with British measurements. How many feet are in a meter? Well, there are 12 inches in a foot, 2.5 centimeters to an inch, so wait, I need a pen and paper. 12 inches to a foot? That's just plain silly. What's your falcon? Is this going anywhere? Yeah. Yes, Your Honor, the metric system is going towards a unified system of measurements for the entire world, assuming the stubborn Americans don't drop the ball, that is. I mean, for the trial. Does this line of questioning have a purpose in the context of the trial? Not in any form whatsoever, Your Honor. Then stop wasting our time. Do you have another question about the scene of the crime? No. I would like to ask about the corpse of Monsieur Grenouille. Go on. What was the cause of death? As immediately obvious when I arrived at the scene, Monsieur Grenouille had a gaping slash from shoulder to thigh. Blood is everywhere. I spoke with the coroner, and he was in agreement. The frog died from blood loss directly caused by the open wound. I see. I suppose there was no chance of arguing that that was an unrelated injury. Let's say yes, and tell me about the slash. Could you describe the cut of Monsieur Grenouille's corpse? Certainly it was a single vertical slash. It was a fine deep cut, the sort you would expect to see from a sharpened saber or a surgeon's knife. Or a cat's claw? Certainly. Wait. You say a saber or a knife could have inflicted the wound? Isn't this a line of investigation that's worth pursuing? Don't be daft. Did you see anything or hear about a knife or sword at the crime scene? No. But it's a possibility, is it not? Without evidence, it's a pretty unlikely possibility. Let's stick to the facts. Do you have other questions for the corpse? No. Blood on her paws. Correct. Blood clung to her fur like guilt to a convict. Whose blood was it? What a question. It was Monsieur Grenouille's, of course. How could you be so sure? I object. This line of questioning is absurd. There was only one murder victim that night. The blood on Dame Caroline's paws could have only belonged to one person. Judge Falcon is trying to delay the trial by asking pointless questions. I'm afraid the prosecution may have a point. Monsieur Falcon, do you have any reason to suspect blood belonged to someone other than Monsieur Grenouille? Let's say I do not. Wait, Falcon, you're on this. Oh! There is! I am? Yes, I can sense it. Look through your evidence. Maybe something there I can give you a clue. Oh. I'm not sure where this is going, but I'll give it a try. Alright, let's try again. Do you have... Yes! I do, Your Honor. Actually, I have more than suspicion. I have evidence that the blood has nothing to do with the murder. I came up with it just as the bird interrupted. She ate steak with no utensils. This is foolish time wasting, Falcon. If the blood of Dame Caroline's paws didn't come from the victim, then where did the blood come from? Steak. On the evening of the murder, Dame Caroline ate a bloody rare steak. This is true. Is this true, Monsieur Abington? Ah, well, in a matter of speaking, I suppose steak may have been on the menu. Then, Inspector, would you acknowledge the possibility that the blood on the lady's paws did not belong to the victim, but to the steak? Well... Wait. Don't answer that, Inspector. It is a possibility. No! So, Inspector Volerty, is it possible you arrested an innocent bystander simply for being a messy eater? Now, hold on a minute, Falcon. You overlooked something quite crucial. Dame Caroline is an elegant boy just kitten. She was no doubt brought up with flawless etiquette and perfect table manners. At the banquet, she would have eaten the steak with a fork in her left hand and a knife in her right, like any proper civilized animal. How could she have possibly gotten blood on her paws with such a good manners? Well, that's a good question, or at least it would be at an ordinary dinner banquet. But as it happened, something was missing from that particular banquet, something that forced Dame Cataline to eat with her paws. Missing silverware. Dame Cataline was forced to eat steak with her paws because the silverware of the house has been previously stolen. Stolen? I don't recall any mention of that in the police report. We weren't aware of anything missing from the R's residence when we performed the initial investigation, but as it happened, Baron approached us about this very subject last night. Ah. What's the meaning of all this? Bloody steak, misplaced silverware? Inspector, was your investigation so lax you overlooked these basic facts on your initial report? Lax? My investigation? Judge, I assure you, I am the most thorough investigative officer on the force. Then it's amazing that the Parisian police managed to solve any crimes at all. Oh dear. Bien your way, Inspector. Perhaps do little inspecting for your next case. Ouch! Fine, so be it. Messieurs, until next time. Prosecutor, I trust your next witness is ready. Yes, of course. I call upon Monsieur Robineau, the photographer who attended the banquet the night of the murder. Please approach the stand and recite the oath. I swear to speak without hatred, without fear, to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth. It's a little cliché, to be perfectly honest. Could the witness please introduce himself for the court record? As if anyone in this courtroom does not immediately recognize me, I am the great Monsieur Robitio Robino, cutting-edge photographer and visionary. I don't just take people's pictures, I capture the very essence. Je suis l'artiste. Tout c'est une pipe. I am an artist. You... something, one, something, I don't even remember. I might have to look that up sometime. You may have seen my works in hit magazines La Branche or C'est Chaussette. I can send you tweets if you like. Haha, birds. What on earth is a tweet? Bird-to-bird communication? Come on, Falcon, it's the 19th century. Get with the times. Yes, your words are very impressive. Let's get down to business. Can you tell us your activities on the night of the murder? Very well, I was hired by the Baron to capture the evening's events. I arrived at 7 in the evening, pointed my camera, and captured the beauty of the banquet in one fantastic photograph. Then I billed the Baron and left, like a true artist. And with regards to the photograph itself, who did you photograph? I'd like to might ask. I brought a copy so that you could all see for yourselves. Very good, let's take a closer look. My word, that's an exquisite picture, isn't it? So let's see, who do we have here? In the middle we see Baron, the lion who hosted the event. On the left we see Seigneur Pertoine de Miao, the father of the defendant. And finally we see the housemaid, who I suspect may have snuck into the picture uninvited. As you can see, two people are clearly absent from the photograph. The first is the victim, the second is the defendant. Quite suspicious, wouldn't you agree? Wasn't the daughter in the picture we saw in the studio? I don't remember. This proves nothing. So the defendant and the victim were not photographed with the others. It doesn't mean that they were in the garden together at that point. Hold your horses, Falcon. I'm not done yet. Prosecution may continue. The clock has hands. Behind the photograph subjects, we see a wall clock with the time set at 7:30. But now, why is that time significant? Well, as Inspector Valeri told us, that was the exact time the murder took place. You see, Falcon? Every suspect has an alibi at the time of the murder. Save for Dame Cataline herself. Falcon, something's fishy. In the jail cell, Dame Cataline told us she was present when the photograph took place, but I don't see her in the photo. That's true, but I can't use Dame Cataline's testimony as evidence. It has too little weight. If I want to prove Monsieur's photograph was not a valid piece of evidence, we have to dish out evidence of my own. Would like to cross-examine. It's a waste of time if you ask me. Photographs are rock-solid evidence. Select. Photograph. Let's take a look at the photograph. I see a mistake in the photograph. Photographs are a direct reflection of the reality, are they not? That is correct. The photographic process leaves no room for bias or inaccuracies. That is most curious, because I see a mistake. Mistake? Possible. I just told you. Monsieur, the camera is perfect. Unbiased evidence. The photographs it produces are flawless. Falcon, I'm not seeing any mistakes. Perhaps you can be more specific. Certainly. Highlight the area the photograph seems a mistake. The clock. The clock in this photograph. There is something not right about it. Well, isn't that convenient? The defense sees something wrong with the key piece of evidence that implicates his client. Don't give me that cocky tone. I have evidence that there's something wrong with the clock. Missing hands. The photograph clearly shows the hands pointing at 7 and 6. That much is self-evident. Which is most curious because the clock in the lounge of Chateau Crènerie has no hands. It has no hands. The clock is merely a decorative piece, a talking item. Feel free to ask Baron Muriel or his housemaid if you have doubts. Monsieur Romito, how do you explain this discrepancy? I don't know. There must be some sort of mistake. My camera is flawless. There's no mistake, monsieur. Your photograph depicts something that does not exist in the real world. Maybe there was an error in the printing process. And you're precisely where the clock's hands should be. Please, monsieur, don't patronize us. Allow me to offer a more plausible explanation. You edited this photograph. Edited? I'm no expert, but I suspect you used paint or ink to carefully put hands upon the clock. It would have been a simple task considering that the clock face was bare. One could even speculate that you specifically chose to include a handless clock in the photograph just to simplify the editing process. Falcon, your reasoning is absurd. Why would the witness do such a thing? Is it not obvious? By showing the photograph to have taken at precisely 7:30, it clears all the photographer's subjects of suspicion. In other words, Monsieur Rubino created the perfect alibi. Of course, it raises further questions. Who is the witness protecting? And why? Was Monsieur Rubino coerced, bribed, threatened? Enough silence. Enough silence. Let's hear some answers. Fine, you've got me. I'm guilty. I did it all. You did? You're confessing to the murder? What? No. I have no idea who killed the frog. I'm just admitting that I'm guilty of producing fraudulent photographs. I was ordered to make changes to the printed photographs, and yes, that includes adding hands to the clock. You were ordered? By whom? I dare not say. I strongly advise you answer the defense's question. You have pledged to speak without fear, after all. With respect, Judge, I fear his claws, more than I fear the punishment of the justice system. I shall name no names. His claws? Did you hear that, Falcon? That is most unfortunate. We shall not torture names out of you. We don't live under the Assyrian regime, after all. And since you have admitted to falsifying evidence, we cannot keep you on the stand as a witness. Take your leave. You shall be charged with perjury in due course. I can't protest. That's the least I deserve for my failure as an artist. Good day, messieurs. What a twist. So the hands were painted on. So what? It doesn't matter. The photograph still depicts Dame Cataline is absent close to the time of the murder. That's significant. Don't be dense. If the photograph is not completely genuine, then it can't be considered reliable evidence. Why not? It's still a portrayal of the night's events. Because if we accept that one part of the picture was edited, then we must accept the possibility that other parts were too. It is possible that Dame Cataline was painted out, or even worse, possible that another person was painted in. We know that the witness was trying to cover for someone, so all possibilities must be accounted for. What are you saying, Falcon? That the housemaid paid off the photographer, or was Pertoine de Meow, perhaps? I don't think so. The housemaid lacks means or motives, and it wouldn't make sense for Pertoire to implicate his own daughter. Well, surely you're not suggesting that the honest and beloved Baron Roguel deliberately tried to frame Dame Cataline, because that would be the most outlandish theory yet. The Baron is a pillar of our community. He would never do such a thing. I'm not here to throw accusations. That's the job of you, the prosecutor. However, perhaps I should offer my opinion? Baron, it's not time for your witness testimony yet. So you would think, prosecutor, and yet my good reputation is getting tarnished by your incompetence. Incompetence? Indeed. Let us proceed with witness questioning. Is that fine with you, Judge? Yeah, I suppose that's fine. Very good. And I trust that the defense has no objections? No objections here. Fantastic. Oh, but before I forget, I pledge to speak without fear and prejudice, etc., etc. Does that count? He didn't say the whole thing. Now, prosecutor, ask me about what I witnessed over the course of the evening. Okay. The night of the initial dinner went magnificently. When the photographer arrived, Monsieur Grenouille left to visit the garden. Dame Cataline followed him moments later. Seigneur Pertoine, Monsieur Robindo, and myself were engaged in conversation, so we paid her no mind. After the photographer had left, my housemaid left to go find Monsieur Grenouille and Dame Cataline. That would be when I heard her cry for help. Excuse me. Thank you, Baron. I think we all know the story from there. I would like to cross-examine. Do you doubt my integrity, Garçon? I'm just here to uncover the truth, Baron. Very well then, hit me with the best shot. Let us establish with absolute certainty that I am an honest man. The defense may proceed with cross-examination. Select a statement. I would like to ask about the dinner you served that evening. Very well, ask away. Now about this red herring. Red herring. I didn't notice that the first time it was brought up. Yeah, what about it? Not sure, but I feel like it's a vital importance to the case. Are you saying you wish to pursue the red herring? No, I'm not an idiot. I suspect the red herring may be a diversion, so I'll leave it alone for now. Good call. The joke was starting to wear thin. He's the one saying the joke was wearing thin. Cutlery. Earlier today we established that the silver were stolen from your residence prior to the banquet. Indeed, I'm aware of who the culprit is, but I have decided not to press charges. It is curious then that you decided to serve steak. It isn't what one would describe as finger food after all. I don't know about that, Falcon. With the right attitude, all food can be finger food. There's nothing curious about it. You're vocal lovers of rare steak. I was merely suiting your needs. Besides, what other choice did the Baron have? Serve vegetables? Serve vegetable broth like a common peasant? Do be quiet, prosecutor. You sound ridiculous. Sorry. You have another question with the dinner? No. Monsieur Grenouille. God rest his soul. What was your relation? We were business partners. Monsieur Grenouille, Monsieur Pertoine de Meow, Pertoire. Why do I say Pertoire, like it's an N, it's an R. Pertoire de Meow. That's a weird, still a weird word to say. And myself all owned a third share in an up-and-coming railway company. Excuse the crassness of this question, but does that mean you and Seigneur Pertoire would now own half the company each? Correct, I suppose that's a slight glimmer of benefit that arose from this foul situation. But Monsieur, you must understand that Monsieur Grenouille and I were friends as much as we are business associates. I mourn the man's passing. Of course, I have another question. Yes. Why did he visit the garden? I believe he wanted some fresh air. The steak did not sit well with him, I fear. I see. That's quite a coincidental timing, isn't it? How so? Well, Monsieur Grenouille felt sick and left the room just after the photographer arrived and just before the murder occurred. One might draw a link between food and the sickness. Hold on, Falcon. Surely you aren't suggesting that Monsieur Grenouille's food was poisoned in some way? I am? The events are closely tied to a mere coincidence. I'm no expert, but I think the steak would have been the perfect medium to carry a small amount of poison. My word, what a revelation. But what evidence do you have of this? Bear in mind, of course, the coroner found no signs of poisoning. No poison was found at the scene of the crime. Well, to be honest, there's no hard evidence to point me, but we can speculate. No, we cannot. There's no need to bring out latest theories. Always had a soft stomach. No surprise that he couldn't keep down a good rare steak. Okay. You saw the murder scene in your garden or so ourselves. When was the last time you ventured into your own garden? As it happens, I have quite serious allergies. I haven't been in my own garden for years. Years, you say? Indeed. I do not wish to call you a liar, but that claim does not hold up. Oh, and why is that? Because we have hard evidence. You have visited the garden recently. Show us this hard evidence. A cigar. This was found in the garden. To be specific, it was found inside the fountain basin, right beside where the murder occurred. A cigar butt? That could belong to anyone. Please shut your mouth. I can speak for myself. Sorry. That is indeed the remnants of one of my cigars, but I must apologize, for I misunderstood your initial question. You see, prior to the banquet, I hadn't visited my own garden in years, but naturally, after hearing the housemaid's cry for help on the evening of the murder, I rushed outside. I was shocked and disgusted by what I saw. That must have been when I dropped my half-smoked cigar in the fountain basin. You see, there's a perfectly reasonable explanation. I would find that believable if the cigar were casually discarded, but as it happens, the cigar butt was found in the fountain's upper basin, a location that could only be accessed with great inconvenience and a little paddling. The cigar butt was not dropped, but it was deliberately hidden. There are any number of possible explanations. Are there? But I can only think of one. That is, that you deliberately hid your cigar butt to disguise your own illicit activities. Did I now? And what illicit activities would those be? You want me to spell it out? Fine. Let's put everything on the table. You murdered Grenouille. That's when you were trying to keep hidden. Directly accusing me of murder? How shamelessly brazen. That is a ludicrous accusation. The Baron is an upstanding citizen of the highest order. Your allegation is baseless. You have no evidence, no means, motive, or opportunity. No evidence? Think harder. Every piece of evidence point to the Baron as a prime suspect. You want the means? The Baron certainly had the means. His lion's claws are sharp as a surgeon's blade. Gutting a frog belly would be trivial to him. Even Monsieur's confession just moments ago that he feared his claws. Ridiculous. I would never threaten a man with violence. You want a motive? The Baron had at least 10,000 francs worth of motive. By removing a business partner, the Baron's shares of his railway company increased from 1/3 to 1/2. That's preposterous. And finally, the Baron had an opportunity. No, he crafted the perfect opportunity. He arranged a small banquet with a very select number of guests. He was aware of this missing silverware, and yet he served steak, a food item that necessitates good cutlery. Why? To bloody the hands of his guests, of course. Then he hired an easily influenced photographer and staged a very specific picture in order to build a perfect alibi for himself. Photographing the guests in front of the handless clock made for easy editing is quite an ingenious plan, it must be said. Prosecutor, are you just going to let this slanderous yarn go unnoticed? Say something, object. You're pitifully useless. After executing the murder, the Baron found himself still holding a single piece of incriminatory evidence, his finished cigar. He knew that leaving it at the scene would raise suspicion, but he didn't have time to properly dispose of it. Thought of desperation, he threw it into the fountain out of sight of his guests and any snooping police. I imagine the Baron is hoping to implicate Signor Pertoin de Miao, since that would ensure total control over his railway company. Alas, Dame Cataline was the first to happen upon the crime scene, so the Baron improvised. This is an outrage. Judge, I demand that you disbar this ranting lunatic. No, there's only one outrage here. That is, that a man like yourself is able to abuse his wealth and status to frame an innocent girl for murder. You're a bourgeois of the worst kind. How dare you, Garçon? The utter nerve of a lying scumbag of a lawyer to accuse a philanthropist like yourself of something so heinous. I'm nothing like the fat cat bourgeois. You're a switchable, hard-working capitalist. No, you're a ruthless man who would slaughter a good friend just to reap a few francs. You incredulous whelp. I ought to gut you right here and now, like a damned frog. Dot dot dot. Could someone please restrain the Baron? I'm on it, Your Honor. Let's go, old man. Don't touch me, you filthy jackdaw. I can walk myself. This is quite a turn of events. Does the prosecution have anything to add? In a matter of speaking, well, to be honest, no. But I should all confer with the members of the jury to come to a decision. I ask that the animals of the court please be patient at this time. That was pretty incredible. Thank you, I just hope it was enough. What do you mean? You just proved Cataline's innocence. We'll get a not guilty verdict for sure. Sparrowson, I think you've misunderstood something important about the justice system. What's that? I haven't proved anything. As lawyers, we cannot deal in proofs. It's just not possible. All we can do is organize the evidence and convincingly explain what it suggests. I haven't proved damn Cataline's innocence. All I have done is demonstrate that there is a significant possibility that she's not guilty. That's an interesting way to think about it, but yeah, that makes sense. I'm not sure I understand the difference. We have reached a decision. In light of the recent revelations, it is clear that an error of judgment was made with the initial arrest. On that note, we unanimously find the defendant, Dame Cataline de Miao, to be not guilty. Are we going to get confetti? Not guilty. No confetti. I was hoping they'd actually do confetti. You did it. I suppose we did, didn't we? We should head back to the office so we can celebrate properly. You did it, Falcon. I can't take all the credit. This was a group achievement. I'm so proud of you both. I'll go get 1 bottle of wine and 3 of our least dirty glasses. You were amazing, Falcon. It was nothing. I very much liked the way you pinned the murder on the Baron. That was an act of sheer genius. Well, I didn't pin anything. Sparrowson and I just worked at unveiling the truth, given the facts of the case. There's no need to play coy. The case is over. Play coy? Don't tell me you're actually being sincere. I'm completely lost. Oh, wow. I thought the goody-goody thing was an act, but you actually don't know. Alright, I'll spell it out for you. What just happened? I murdered when we... I saw him in the garden, all drunk and vulnerable, and I seized my opportunity. Well, this took a harsh turn. It was nothing personal, just business, you understand? Business? To increase my papa's share in the drink company, of course. My papa always said that the drunk old frog was the weakest link. Your confession doesn't make any sense at all. I found Baron's cigar hidden in the garden. Oh, I put that there. I expected the police to find it, but I suppose it was putting too much faith in the brains of Paris's finest. Falcon proved the photo was edited. It was edited. I wasn't in the picture because I was busy paying a visit to my Shogui in the garden. Papa knew I needed an alibi, so he ordered the sheriff to paint me over Baron Raquel and add hands to the clock. But that lady artist didn't manage to finish altering the photograph by trial day. It's a good thing that Monsieur Falcon was so imaginative, because that could have gone very badly. Well, what's with the silence? You should both be proud. There aren't many lawyers in the whole of France who could have won a case like this, even for a procois like kitty like me. I think you should leave. Fine. So much for the celebrations. Here's the payment for your services, straight from my papa's pockets. Adieu. Well, we didn't expect that in the first case. What do we do now? Falcon? Let's end of Act 1. About an hour and 15 in. I think it's a good place to stop. That was a twist. I wonder if that's going to come back and bite him in the end. I'll definitely go back to this game once I get more into Tokyo Mirage Sessions. I am kind of curious to see where this goes. So, let us know what you think in the comments. I'll be talking about this on tomorrow night's podcast. So if you have any other questions about it, you can always, send us a tweet. If you're a patron, you can send a message on Discord or email nintendodads@gmail.com for any other information you may have if you want to share it on the show. Thanks for watching, and keep listening to Nintendo Dads.